Logan, how's it going? Just back from France?
Yes, just back a couple of days ago.
Yeah, and I don't quite know what we're going to call this now, whether this is you like guest hosting a little bit with us or just sort of joining us on the quick catch up. But what we've done is we're about to listen to quite a few of the other recordings from our trip to Boardmasters that Rob and I did, and we're going to maybe pick your brains a bit about what some of the British surfers have been doing over the summer and where you're going at the end of September.
A little interlude.
Yeah, here we go. So yeah, as we just said, Logan, you've just come back from the QS in Anglet, and nice and easy start. You entered the competition late, so they penalised you. Is that the right word for it? They chucked you in the round of 120.
Yeah, you still pay the exact same amount of money. You just get you don't get your seed.
But you were looking to get heat practice, and heat practice you got, because in the first heat of the round of 120, there was another surfer who'd also joined the event late.
Yeah, Leon Glatzer, the Olympian.
Yeah, and there you are straight away, right? And the top Portuguese junior.
Yeah, Matisse Crozon or something. Yeah. I think he's really, really good. And I was kind of nervous, but at the same time, you don't go there for an easy challenge, you know. So
and you got through.
Yeah, frothing. It was actually a good heat. It was one that was good practice, you know. Like a lot of stuff went on, a lot of priority and things. I made the right choices, so I was happy.
And then that's ended up where you've basically fought your way through. So it's frustrating. You end up with a result that on paper is not as high as Pat, even though you go through 2 heats. He doesn't go through any, but it's because of the seeding system there.
Yeah, maybe if I'd started in my round, like I don't know, things would have been different. It was like 3 heats in one day, but yeah, it's really, really good. I got out of the trip what I wanted to, surf some good waves.
You're coming up against guys who've not yet surfed, isn't it? You've surfed 2 heats to get to them. You're surfing your 3rd heat of the day. They're in their first.
They got fresh legs, but it's good, you know. You just literally got out of the trip what I wanted. So
great. So as we were saying, we got you in for a quick sort of, you're doubling up as both guest and pundit. We're gonna have a quick sort of recap before we play some of these Grom interviews that we did of what's happened to all the British surfers over the summer.
Awesome.
And the British event. So I tell you what, we'll wind right back. We'll go to Pantene and the event in Pantene. You're at that one? Yeah,
it was at that one. Yeah, pretty pumping waves, pretty breathtaking by the area as well. I've never been to Galicia before, and what a place! Like,
and the big result in that one is Alice Barton coming second.
Huge, yeah, phenomenal, and well deserved. You know, ripping our whole event,
which puts her in Boardmasters as sort of one of the event favourites. Really, she gets the quarterfinals there, and then we add that to around before the quarters in Anglet and a poor result in Lucknow, puts her at 9th on the ladies' ratings, which is a pretty dizzy height. Well, it's kind of roughly the same place that Pat was at the end of last year, wasn't it? Yeah,
real close. There's a couple more big events now, but she'll get there 100%. I believe in her this year, you know.
And then if we jump over to the men's, then we've got Pat is sitting at 18th, is it?
18th, yeah. He had a really good result in Pantene, got a 9th there.
Yeah.
And then just need some more big 3000s now, you know.
And I just
and big in Boardmasters too.
I looked down the rankings. You're a little bit further down than Pat, but you are one spot in the rankings behind your good mate Gerridge McTay. So that's something that you can try and wind him up about a bit.
And my 3rd QS heat against him.
Really? Oh yeah. So yeah, let's go to Boardmasters. That was where you did have that very difficult heat in very, very small surf with Gerridge and Job Harris, who was eventually the event finalist, to Job from Bude. And he was also the guy who dispatched Pat in the semi-finals, wasn't he?
Yeah, ripping all event on form, you know, it was good. Felt like there's some momentum behind Job, and I was stoked to see it.
And that was kind of priority, and getting that priority game was the real challenge there with such small waves and so few waves coming through.
Yeah, I mean, there's maybe like, I picked the left-hand bank with the only goofy footer. Well, Job was a goofy, but he went on the right, and I went on the left with G-Man, and maybe I could have played it different. But so the nerves got the better of me, but... Luckily, Anglet got to iron some of those creases out, you know.
Yeah, and but let's not forget, you know, you've won the Welsh title this year, and that's defending that title,
True.
And now that's been supplemented by the fact that on the basis of the strength of you guys' QS finish last year, then we've got the top 3 QS surfers from Britain. 2 of them are Welsh. That's you and Pat. Luke Dillon's the other, and that's how they've chosen the team to go to the World. So congratulations, you are very shortly to leave us and fly to California.
Yeah, this means so much to me. Like, I feel like maybe not many people in Britain would back me in the team, but I back myself in, and I'm just so happy that I would have fought for that spot regardless, but really, really happy that I got in. And there's 3 Welsh people in the team, you know. There's Alice Barton, myself and Patrick, so that's huge for Wales, I think.
And so you said Lucy Campbell and Ellie Turner making up the other 2 ladies.
That's
that
it,
are going,
yeah. And then,
excited about competing at Huntington?
Honestly, I can't wait. I'm going to be watching like Shane Beschen weave into the inside and the old, the Slater heats and stuff.
Have you sort of thought about the fact that you're probably going to be in heats that will get called by like Chris Cote, Shannon Hughes? You know, they're going to.
Not until now, but tears for the nerves.
they'll have a little fact file on you.
Yeah, I know.
Talking about Harry Cromwell and his fishing ventures and stuff like that. It's going to,
I'm looking forward to the follows on Instagram off him anyway. It'll be fun. Yeah. But yeah, like Buzz in such a historic place, and like I've been close to getting to the Worlds before. And it's really has stung me a lot. So just making it and being in the team this year, being a GB team member, like it does really mean a lot to me. So
and those heats happen. You know, I think Garage had Medina, was it last time?
And he's surfing against Slater as well. Like everyone thinks he beat Slater. You know, he got robbed
Japan one,
in the Japan, and Luke's like nearly beat Italo. Yeah. So like Stan beat Joan Deroux. Like there's loads of big.
If you see one of those guys now, your mentality is not going to be like, oh great, I get to be in the water with, you know,
Jack Robinson
or Jack Robinson or whatever it is. Your mentality is going to be like,
I want to smoke him. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, for sure. Like especially in those waves, maybe if it was like held at Chopu, I'd be a bit like, oh, okay, like, I'll just do my best. But those waves, I surf pretty bad waves. I'm very familiar with Southern California as well. So
and you said you competed at Huntington in
like a local event. Yeah, I won a little local event there a couple of years ago on a trip. So yeah, I've been there before. Been to just that region a lot, you know. So I'm pretty comfy, and I back myself to do well.
And is there any word that the British team are going to get a corporate hospitality trip down to watch a bit of the WSL finals?
I'd like to think so. Myself, Lucy, Luke and Pat are heading out early, and the WSL finals starts the day we arrive. Yeah. So fingers crossed we might catch the world title go down. It'd be pretty awesome.
I haven't actually. I know my dad's gone out to watch the event that used to run there, you know, the CT.
Yeah.
And he said it is as simple as like you just
go down,
drive up to Carl's Jr., walk over the bridge and walk over. And
I'm sure parking will be pretty hectic, but even if you got to park a couple miles away, you'd do it, wouldn't you? You know, it's pretty historic, I think. So
yeah, awesome.
Buzzing. Yeah.
And let's have a quick word about Groms then, because that's what we're about to hand this episode over to the Groms. Who's been standing out for you amongst the British Groms? I mean, we saw them all at Boardmasters, didn't we? The surf was very small, but you know, we got a good chance to see who was who.
So, like, obviously Lucas and Alice, like, just Lucas amazing. Skinner. Both European champions now, and like, their surfing's showing it. But like names like Sam Hearn, absolutely ripping. Got a quarterfinal finish in the men's in the Boardmasters, like and 5th in the world, 6th in the world, or whatever he got. Is amazing. Ripping at Boardmasters too. But then like guys like Jay Phipps and you know like the Gillespie boys, they're shredding too. So there's a big crop of young juniors, and obviously the Welshman Eli Perrin-Davis, he's shredding too.
When we're about to hear from him very shortly, what do you think of Eli surfing?
Phenomenal. And like not just that he's good, but he's not just been like a good junior who like hasn't really improved. He's improved a lot, and like it's really good to see. And he's pretty hungry for it too. So buzzing to see what he does in the future.
And he got 3rd in the Welsh.
Yes, yeah. 3rd. I mean, pretty kind of a bit sour grapes for Eli, because in a normal year without kind of how rushed everything's been, he would have had a shot of being in the British team. You know, the top 3 go to the British nationals. So bit gutted for him, but we'll have a British, and we'll have some more heats against him. Stoked.
And just remind me now, I forget, who was it that was in front of him in the Welsh?
Patrick Langdon-Dark.
Oh, yeah, and one other person?
Myself.
Come on now. If you don't blow your own trumpet, someone else is going to use it as a spittoon.
Thanks, cheers.
And and I tell you what, let's flatter some of those other grommets now, so we'll hand over to the UK Groms.
Awesome.
So I'm on my way down the steps now to see Beach Marshal Tim, and hopefully I'll be able to set up some equipment, and Tom and I are going to try and have a little chat with some of the competitors in this. Stay tuned.
So I am joined here now down on the sand by the Beach Marshal, Tim, and you do a lot of these events, don't you, Tim?
Yeah, I've been doing a number of years now. Actually, the first one was for Wave Project over 10 years ago. I've been doing this with Surfing England more recently. It's the first Boardmasters for me, but that's a little step up really in terms of the competition. But each event is just fantastic, seeing the froth of these guys. I've known a lot of them from 7, 8, 9 years old, and they're now sort of 16, 17, 18, sometimes even older, the guys who started sort of in their 11, 12, early teens. They come over, they're in their early 20s now, and they're just absolutely fantastic. Great bunch of lads and girls. The community itself is awesome, I'd say.
And where are you from, Tim?
Just north of Weybridge towards Port Isaac. So Pauly Jeffery is my local beach. I've surfed there since the 80s, really. Seen a lot of changes in many things, but it's just trying to find a quiet wave now, but early mornings, late evenings, that's the priority really.
Lovely, I like that, yeah. Now what I can tell you about Tim is that he is a frother, he's an eternal Grom. Tim's as stoked to surf as anybody, and Tim's going to be doing a little bit of interviewing on our behalf down here as the junior event runs through, so stand by and you might hear Tim pick up a couple of the grommets and parents who over the years have come to know Tim, and he's quite good at getting opinions out of some of these guys, so it'll be really interesting to hear some of the things that Tim's got to say. Just joined by a couple of Groms here who've gone in one of the first heats of the day. It's Finley Lucas and Kieran Smith, both of you have advanced. Finley, where are you from?
St Agnes.
And how was your heat just then?
It was alright, yeah, a bit small, but there's still a few little waves.
Of course there is. And Kieran, how did you do?
Did alright, it was quite hard, but did my best.
First Boardmasters?
No, second.
In the juniors, yeah, first Boardmasters, Finley?
Second as well.
How do you guys go last year?
I think I got to the quarters, and yeah, I had a few, but I probably wish I'd done better though.
But you're through now, so you're looking to try and go one better in the next round?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Tidy. How about you, Kieran? What's your goal down here?
Toby, just keep making these heats to the final, hopefully.
Good luck, boys. Good luck.
Okay, I'm joined here by some of the competitors from the last heat. Heath Coombs, I'm going to start with you if that's okay. Tricky conditions, no doubt about it, but you all put on a really good show. What I would like to talk about, first of all, Heath, I'm going to ask you, what's your highlights of the Boardmasters been so far?
The highlights of the Boardmasters have probably been chilling in the athletes' tent with all of the good surfers in there. There's so much good competition out there. There is, like, everywhere you look, there's class surfers. So it's probably just been chilling up there, to be honest. Okay, so you mentioned some of the high-profile surfers that we've got in the athletes area this year. There does seem to be a real buzz about it. And does the WSL presence increase the stakes and the profile of this event? Yeah, it does. Having the WSL here makes everyone want to compete better, want to perform better, just impress. So, yeah. And Heath, you're of course a Newquay local. It must be a real buzz for you surfing in front of a home crowd, a packed beach as well, may I say, on, although tricky conditions, a sunny Saturday. How is it on home turf? Yeah, it's really good surfing somewhere I know. I've surfed here all my life, and I know everyone here, so that's good. It's just having fun, isn't it?
That's it. Thanks very much, Heath. Catch you later. I'm going to chat now to the Welsh boys, the Welsh contingent. You're going to have to come around this way, lads. So a 1-2 for the Welsh contingent. Obviously, you're pleased to progress. How important are these kind of events for young, up-and-coming surfers such as yourselves? I'm going to start with you, Elliot, if that's okay. Elliot, you're going to have to come much closer.
Well, it's good just to get in the water, surf some heats, because it's you don't get a lot of comps around the UK, so just to surf some heats and then you can progress to the Pro Juniors and QS. It's a good experience. Absolutely, great experience.
Eli, I'm going to pose the same question to you. How important are these kind of events for young up-and-coming surfers such as yourself?
Oh yeah, it's really good. It's always good to look forward to as well. And yeah, it is good to compete against England and Channel Islands and all that, instead of jumping straight into Europe. It's a good step in surfing.
I like that, a stepping stone. And of course, as we mentioned to Heath just a moment ago, there are some really high-profile surfers on site this year for the WSL 1000 QS event. What have your highlights of the Boardmasters been so far? Eli, I'm going to start with you.
It's amazing to be competing in the same event as guys Olympians, Yeah, it's good experience, but yeah, super good.
And Elliot, same question to you. What have your highlights of the Boardmasters been so far?
Yeah, surfing with the QS surfer is really good. It helps you like get a different perspective on like your surfing and the free food in the comp area.
The free food in the comp area, you heard it here first. So there's a real buzz about the event this year. Does the WSL presence increase the stakes and the profile of this event? Eli just mentioned some of the Olympians we've got in this event. Seeing these guys surf in the same conditions that we kind of get on a regular basis in the UK must be quite inspirational.
Yeah, it's really good because you just watching them, they're like really good, and it's like it helps you improve, and like you just want to get better.
That's it. You can see what is possible in these kind of conditions, can't you, Eli? Same question to you. It must be great seeing the likes of Leon Glatzer, Yolanda Hopkins ripping up the conditions that we get pretty much every day.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really good to see them here. It's also good to like see the level they're at and where you need to be and everything. But yeah, it's just really, really good.
Okay, now boys, we're going straight into boys junior round 2 at the conclusion of round 1. You've got in nice and early this morning. Tricky conditions, no doubt, but has that heat that you've just had helps perhaps shape your strategy or tactics for the next heat to come and the next rounds to come?
Yeah, kind of. Like, you just kind of want to get a wave that it's going to allow you to do a turn. But yeah,
That's right. We've seen the judges rewarding one big maneuver this morning. So you're looking for a wave that will allow you to generate enough speed and get that maneuver done. Elliot, what are you thinking going into the next heat and the next round? Any ideas? Any tricks up your sleeve?
Oh, well, I didn't think it was going to be so small, but now that I've been in, I think the set waves are the way to go. Yeah.
So we're going to hold out for the set waves. You heard it here first, folks. And Eli, Elliot, thanks very much. We look forward to seeing you in the later rounds. I'm joined now by one of the parents of our competitors in the event, Rudy Perrins-Davis, father, of course, to Eli, who we saw progress through into junior boys round 2 with a heat win against fellow compatriot Elliot Barton. Now, Rudy, the WSL have joined us at the Boardmasters this year. There's a real buzz about the event. We've seen some really high-profile surfers, Olympians, surfers that are really up there on the Challenger Series, the likes of Leon Glatzer, the likes of Yolanda Hopkins. What does an event like this in the UK mean for our young up-and-coming surfers?
It's fantastic because they see where they're all aspiring to be hopefully professional athletes, so they can see the level they need to reach to, and it's just a great atmosphere around you with all that going on, as well as Boardmasters. It's been real fun being down here, really.
And you mentioned about the kind of atmosphere down here at the Boardmasters. What's been your highlight so far? Whether at the festival, whether it being on the surfing, what's really tickled your fancy?
Oh, the surfing for sure. Yeah, just seeing all the sort of high-level surfers compete in our sort of waves. Yeah, just been really good to watch. Haven't been to the festival as of yet. Yeah, so yeah, all good.
Haven't been yet. Growth mindset. I like it. Thanks, Rudy. Okay, I'm joined by the two surfers that progressed from that last heat, Otis Perry and Owen Graham. Now, Otis, you told me there were only 2 of you in that heat. However, all good practice. Small, challenging conditions on offer this morning. But now you've experienced them, does it inform your heat strategy or tactics going into the next round?
Yeah, I'd say at the minute, the best waves are probably the ones that look like they're going to close out kind of thing. It's pretty small, but there's definitely odd ones to be had.
Thanks, Otis. And Owen, same thing for you. You've experienced the conditions now. Does it inform your heat strategy or tactics moving forward?
I would just say try get 2 waves really fast at the start of the heat just to settle the nerves, and then try build your scores from there.
That's it. And as Otis just said, you're looking for the ones that look like they're going to close out to give you something to hit, I guess?
Yeah, well, there's a bit of a sucky lip on the occasional one, so it gives you a little bit of power, but it's hard work, but there's definitely the odd one to be had.
There we go. I reckon you guys have got the upper hand on people just making their first appearance in round 2. Now, the WSL have joined us here at the Boardmasters for 2022. We've seen some exceptional surfing from the likes of Marco Mignot, Yolanda Hopkins, Leon Glatzer, Olympians and really high-profile surfers. What does it mean to you guys as young up-and-coming surfers in the UK to see that level of surfing in our conditions and in our waves? Owen?
Oh, it's really sick. Just chilling up with the competitors there, watching them like what they do before their heats and not talking to anyone, putting their headphones in and just cycling for the heat. It's really good.
So some tips there, perhaps, for Owen, psyching for your heat, ignoring everyone else, just focusing on what you're going to do in your heat. Otis, same question to you. What does it mean to you seeing these really high-profile surfers putting on such exceptional displays of surfing in our small, often inconsistent conditions?
Well, I think one thing that was really nice is their attitudes. Like, even if they got knocked out, I've never seen any of them look really annoyed or like shouting or punching their board or anything. And Leon Glatzer, he's really nice as well. I had speaking to him, he's prepping for heat, still had time for a little chat, you know. It's really nice.
So a really professional attitude from all of the surfers. And final question, boys. I've mentioned the buzz and the atmosphere around the event site. What's been your highlight of the Boardmasters so far? And I'll ask you first, Otis, because I know you've got a job to do.
The music's been pretty good as well, not just the surfing, and you know, working here has been pretty nice.
Have you been up to the festival site then?
Yeah, I went last night. It's pretty good.
Who's your pick of the acts?
Didn't really see much on the main stage acts, but all the kind of DJ tents are really good.
That's great. And same question to you, Owen. What's been your highlight of the Boardmasters so far?
Definitely the festival. The festival was really fun last night with some good acts, so it was really good to go.
Who's your pick of the acts?
Damien Marley was pretty good. So.
Damien Junior Gong Marley, you heard it there, folks. Thanks, boys. Thanks, Otis. Thanks, Owen. Okay, I'm joined by the competitors in the last heat. I've got Sammy, Heath, and Reen. Boys, if you can come and line up this way, we're going to have a little chat about the kind of the vibe and the atmosphere here at the Boardmasters. So we've got the WSL on board this year, of course, for the QS, the men's QS and the women's QS 1000. What does it mean to you as up-and-coming surfers in the UK to have the opportunity to see such decorated and highly skilled athletes coming from across Europe and indeed across the world and surfing the waves that we get to surf on a daily basis? I'm going to go to Sammy first of all.
Yeah, I think it makes it a lot better for us as surfers because it like pushes us and makes it harder competitively, and especially in these small waves, you just have to find the best wave.
I like that. So you get, your motivation comes from coming up against more challenging competition, perhaps. I like that. And I go to Heath now. Heath, what does it mean to you getting to see these surfers do the business in the waves that we surf on a regular basis?
Watching them surf really good. There's a really good surfers. Just helps me try get better because I want to be like them.
I like that. So inspirational. So we've got motivational, inspirational. Reen, we're going to go to you now. What does it mean to you to see these international surfers come and surf our waves?
Yeah, it inspires us to like try be like them and surf. If we see them surf our waves so good, then we should be able to do it, shouldn't we?
I like that. So you're trying to emulate the things that they're doing. Now, obviously with the WSL here and the festival atmosphere of the Boardmasters, there seems to be a really good vibe around the beach. Lots of people coming down to watch the surfing. What's been your highlight of the Boardmasters so far? And I'll start with you, Reen.
Obviously the surf comp, and the festival as well has been good.
So you've been up to the festival site, have you?
Yeah, I went last night. It was good. Not for long though.
And what was your pick of the acts?
Yeah, really good music, and the rave tents are good as well.
The rave tents. Right, Heath, same question to you. What's been your highlight of the Boardmasters so far?
Making my first round.
Oh, in the first round, was that in of the junior event or the QS one? So making it through the first round of the junior event. So we'll see you in round 2. Conditions pretty tricky. What are you going to take away from this? Have you got any strategy or tactics going into the next round?
Yeah, picking the right wave, but don't be too picky. Just surf sensible.
Sensible surfing, we like it. And Sammy, what's been your highlight of the Boardmasters so far?
Definitely being with everyone up at the top with all the surfers and just watching them all surf.
Yeah, so being in the surfers area with all these international athletes. Now, I've spoken to a few people after their heat, and one thing that was mentioned earlier was the professional attitudes of the surfers. Win or lose, they didn't show too much emotion one way or the other. They see it more of as a job and something that they need to get done in order to progress. It must be nice seeing how these high-profile surfers and these athletes cope with winning and cope with losing. Is there anything in particular that you've seen a certain athlete do, perhaps one of the Challenger Series surfers, that you're going to try and adapt when you go to contests now, Sammy?
They've definitely been like getting in a lot in the water, just working on all the surf and picking which board to ride. But yeah.
So lots of practices from Sammy. Heath, what about you?
Yeah, just surfing loads, practicing on one thing, trying to perfect it.
Perfection from Heath and Reen?
You always see all the best surfers on the best waves, so I think their wave selection's really good.
I love that wave selection from Reen. Thanks very much, boys. Take it easy.
Jay Phipps. Huge score in round 2 in your round 2 heat just then. It was ended up, I think the last wave was an 8 something. What's the secret? Waves are small. You were ripping.
Yeah, it was very challenging conditions, but it was still pretty fun. And yeah, I came out with a good heat total, so it was a pretty fun heat.
First time competing in Newquay?
Yeah, it's really nice beach and it's been really fun. Yeah.
And you're surfing for France, but you got a Welsh mum, is that right?
Yeah, I've got a Welsh mum and an Australian dad, but I'm competing for France.
Wow, what's your mum's name?
Christine Phipps.
Christine, okay. Where's she from in Wales? Oh, he doesn't know. Mark's going to tell us. In comes Dad. Hiya, Mark. How you doing? You got to be proud of Jay after that one.
Yeah, he did a great job out there, didn't he, Tom? Yeah, and Christine is from Wales, and her maiden name was Jenkins. Christine Jenkins from Wales in Mumbles.
Proper Welsh name then. And how you guys been enjoying your time here? Small waves today, but got the right attitude.
Yeah, it is small, but like it's it's the same for everybody. You just got to get out there and try and do your best, and hopefully better everyone else.
And Mark, you've competed a fair bit in your day as well. You were a former world number 4 in the ISA World Games, is that right?
Yeah, that was my highlight of my career, the peak of my career. But yeah, I have surfed a lot of heats in my life, yes.
And does he listen to you, or do you sort of sit back, watch him, and hope that he listens to the coaches instead?
I'd say 50-50 there. So some heats he comes in and I say, yeah, that was good, follow the plan, listen to me. And then other times I'd say, well, you did the complete opposite of what I said, but it worked. So maybe it was good not to follow my plan that time.
Yeah, was that the complete opposite of what Dad had told you to do, Jay?
No, not really. I listened to Dad and it worked pretty well, so pretty happy with that.
Hey, cheers, guys. We'll be seeing you both in Wales this autumn, I'm told.
That's correct. We're heading to Wales today, possibly.
Oh, guys, enjoy. You'll be going over the bridge into God's land. Diolch yn fawr, guys. Gwelwch chi yn fian. Bo and Bell, Betteridge, how you guys doing? What's happened to Mum and Dad? I thought we were going to talk to the whole family.
I don't know where Dad's gone. I think he left after that heat.
Oh, he heard that we were going to try. Has he run away? Is he Mike shy?
I think he might have, yeah.
So Bo and Bell Betteridge, you guys are from Croyd. You're two of England's hot up-and-coming surfers. You were both in the English junior team. So you've been in El Salvador this year and you've been in Santa Cruz. It's been a busy year. Have you been enjoying yourself?
Yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, it's been fun. Loads of trips with the team. It's good.
Bo, you've just got through your heat. You left it to the last couple of seconds. You didn't. I think you had no waves with like 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I kind of waited for a set like there was in the heat before, but nothing just came through, and then kind of just pumped on a wave. Yeah.
Belle, you're watching him. Like, are you a supporter? Are you guys competitive between each other?
I think both, but we're in like complete different categories. So obviously supportive, but don't know.
And you finalled last year, right?
No.
Oh, it was Bo. You finalled, did you?
Yeah, I came 4th last year.
Okay, and so Belle, what's your goal for this year?
Catch a wave.
And in the long term, you're anything else coming up this year?
I think we've got a couple of trips planned.
Family trips? Because you just went as a whole family to El Salvador, isn't that right?
Yeah. So we're going to France, I think, for comp, I think. Hopefully we'll get in. And then, don't know.
What was it like going to El Salvador for the Worlds with Mum and Dad there? Did they stay near you?
Yeah, they stay quite near. It was, I don't know, it was kind of hard with the whole family, but it was good.
Bo, plans for the next round? What's your goal?
Start early like Jay did probably, and just hope that I get a wave, because I'm probably bigger than all of them, so I'm going to have to try a lot harder probably.
Hey, good luck both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Malachi Hagley, you were a wild card into the men's event. What was the wild card for, do you know?
Not really. I think because I competed in a pro junior in Spain, gave me a seeding.
So did someone just ring you up and say, hey, you got a wild card?
No, I entered and I came on this, and then I got an email saying that I was in the event. I didn't realise it was a wild card, to be honest, but yeah, I was happy to be in the event. Good experience, yeah, definitely.
So who did you get to surf against? You were in the round of 32, right?
Yeah, I surfed against Barnaby Cox, who got second, and this guy from the Basque Country, who I can't remember his name, but he won the heat, and also an American who came in 4th. And I came in third in that heat, but it was good practice to warm up for the juniors today.
And you beat the American then? That's great. So you were telling Beach Marshal Tim just then a story apparently from, where was it, Galicia?
Yes, Ferrell, Doninos. It was a pro junior. A really good experience. Thanks to Team Sport Aid for helping me get there. And the waves were huge, so it was good to learn to adjust to surf heats in different conditions, because it can be massive there, or it can be like a foot today, and you just have to deal with it and try and surf better than the others. And it was also good because I got to practice priority, which is good when you come back for events here with priority.
Beach Marshal Tim tells me that you were having a free surf and that all was going well. Was that here or was that in Ferrol?
I free surfed in Ferrol when it was really big, and here I surfed this morning. I got a couple warm-up waves before my heat, and that felt good going into the heat. Nice warm-up, so I made my heat, which I was happy about.
Awesome. So, what's your name? You're waiting for your heat?
Bo, Howell, and yeah, I'm waiting.
And you're competing in the Havaianas Girls Junior Open. And how long have you been competing for, Bo?
Probably only like 3 years. I don't know. A couple of years, but like not seriously up until like this year. Like last year and this year.
First Boardmasters?
Yeah, first one.
You how you feeling?
I'm actually feeling fine, to be honest. I thought I'd be more nervous, but it's not bad. The waves might be okay when I get out there.
Where you from?
Isle of Wight.
Oh, lovely. Oh yeah, Isle of Wight. W-I-G-H-T?
Yes.
It mean, did you know this, guys? It means Holy Christian Faithful. Wight, W-I-G-H-T. It's an old word for, yeah. But you guys are the faithful here. Dad, stepping in. What's your name, Dad?
Oh, Nigel.
Nigel? Any advice then for dads of up-and-coming hot juniors?
Just got to let them enjoy it, really. I mean, we travel, we go surfing, enjoy the surfing, and competition's a good way to progress. See what the top pros are doing, hang around, get experience from, let them inspire you, and yeah, that's what we're really doing here, is let Bo see what the best people are doing, and hopefully one day she can go out and do the same. So we'll see.
Amazing. Okay. Well, all the best to you, Bo, in the heat. Who have you been enjoyed watching so far? Did you watch the ladies the other day?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, obviously Alice Barton's literally amazing. I've been watching her even, like, free surfing and stuff.
But you're going to take her down if you can, though, right?
I'll try, but Alice Barton, so good. I don't know, I just want to be like her when I'm older one day.
How old are you?
15, so, like, got a couple years.
Of course you have. And you got a good few years on Yolanda Hopkins, the event winner. Who did you enjoy watching out of the pro ladies? Obviously Alice was in the pro ladies, but in the the finalists and semi-finalists.
I can't remember what her name was. One of them was like Spanish, and she was so good. We were watching her. Like, I don't know if she was in the final. I think she was in the final. I don't know. She was really good, but can't remember her name.
Yeah, the two Basque girls were absolutely lighting it up, weren't they? Great. Hey, I'll let you guys go and get ready for your heat. Thanks, Nigel.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks, Bo.
Bye.
Lucas Skinner coming up from your heat. Get through. What was that? Round quarter-final, was it?
That was the round before quarters, so somehow I got through. I was like 2 minutes late. I've never been late for a heat before, so that was pretty tricky. But yeah, I made it through. The waves have got super hard now. It's got low tide, but hopefully there's something on the push for the last bit of the comp.
Hey, Lucas, I've been loving your attitude. The surf's tiny, but you're just frothing to keep running now.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's sunny and there's waves and it's clean and there's loads of people on the beach, so can't complain.
Last year you won this thing, didn't you? No, you came second to Stan Norman, was it?
I came third. Like, Sam Hearn came second in the last minute, but it was tricky. It was tricky conditions then. It was big and yeah, it was hard.
And this is your year then, you reckon?
I hope so. Hopefully I don't be late for any more heat.
And you recently won the European Under-16s in Santa Cruz. How'd that feel?
Yeah, that was insane. I couldn't believe it. And then I came 9th in the QS yesterday, which was good. And then, yeah, hopefully I can win this. I want to anyway.
You're on a tear, Lucas. Good luck. We'll hopefully catch up with you again a little bit later after a bit more progression.
Thank you.
Couple more Groms here. Jack Bree, Arthur Dakin, and we've also got with us Arthur Randall, who you've got the strangest looking tail, Arthur. You're a longboarder too, though, aren't you? So you're used to weird equipment. What's that thing all about?
This is the Flat Earth from Slater Designs. It's pretty sick. 2+1 allows you to, it's a smaller waveboard, more speed, which is great for these challenging conditions.
And you're competing in the boardies, more speed?
Yeah, light as possible. Everything that helps. Yeah, it's great. And it's warm out there.
Isaac, how you doing? So you surfed good this morning, you got through yours.
Yeah, had a couple good ones this morning, but today, the afternoon, my heat didn't really go my way. Couldn't really get any, but it's what it is.
How did you find that one out there then, Jack?
It's pretty challenging for me, just with like my size and my weight and stuff like that. But I thought I'd just go out there to give it my best go. Great event as always. And yeah, thank you for having me on.
That's the attitude. Arthur, head back over here. I gotta pick your brains a bit more. Yesterday, the first round of the high tide, Arthur, you quite like surfing in front of the crowd. You were riffing off us in the booth there, weren't you? Waving up, doing various things, put on a bit of a show.
Yeah, I like putting on a show. Feels great. Like having an audience. Yeah, I like making people laugh. Yeah, it was good fun as the tide was up and everyone was sitting down on the beach. Little waves right in front of the crowd. Yeah, it was good.
And how did you go in the main event?
I did the men's longboard. I got seeded through to the second round, but knocked out as I had a very hard heat. Yeah, I don't feel like I could have done much more. Yeah.
Longboard, shortboard, which do you prefer?
Sticky one. Right now I probably prefer shortboarding. I like the thrill from good waves. But yeah, I do like longboarding as well.
And you say that you're just having fun, right? And you like to show off, you like to have fun, you like to fool around and all that. But now you're in the quarterfinals. Are you going to get serious? Are you going to be priority hassling people? Or is this still a bit of a... When do you become serious?
Yeah, I mean, I'll become serious if the conditions are well good and I know I need to, surf my best. But yeah, as soon as I enter the competition, really, it becomes serious. As soon as I'm in the water, it goes down. Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay, so I'm joined on the beach after the last heat with Anders Ravenscroft and Fred Friedrichsen. I'm going to start with you, Fred, if that's okay. We're into round 2 of the Javianis Junior event now. We're operating with the same setup that the WQS surfers used throughout their event over the last couple of days. Conditions not great, understandably. However, what does it mean to you to have an opportunity to surf in an event with such a setup, the same setup that some of the world's best surfers are using here in waves that we get to experience every single day?
Well, I mean, this is a really amazing experience for me because I've never really done this before. I've only really done local competitions, so it's really cool to have this kind of setup and to really experience this, like what the pros actually do, which is really fun, actually.
So over the last few days, we've seen the likes of Challenger Series surfers and Olympians, Yolanda Hopkins, Leon Glatzer, surfing, perhaps slightly bigger conditions, but like I say, with the same setup. Have you enjoyed seeing these surfers go about their business? And if so, have you managed to pick up any tips or things that you'd like to transfer into your surfing or your competitive strategy and tactics?
Yeah, it's been really cool to see all of the pros and Olympians, and I think one thing that I've taken away from this is you have to surf pretty much every condition because it's not always going to be perfect and you have to adapt to those conditions.
That's a great attitude to have, and someone mentioned earlier that regardless of conditions, win or lose, they noticed that the professional surfers of the WQS had an excellent attitude. They were prepared to go. They saw it in a very professional sense. They didn't really care whether it was the best waves of the day or the worst waves of the day. They had a job to do and they went about it in a very professional manner. Was that quite an inspirational thing for you to see as a young up-and-coming surfer?
Yeah, it is really inspirational because it just kind of shows you the attitude that they have, and you kind of want to, they lead as an example for all of us young surfers.
I love that. Great attitude. Thanks, Fred. And obviously there's quite a buzz about the beach, a big atmosphere. There's loads of people coming down to watch you this morning. What's been your highlight of the Boardmasters so far? So from any point in the past 4 days, whether it's the surfing, the festival, what's been your high point?
Really just being here and just competing in the surfing comp, because I've never really done this sort of thing before and it's really cool for me.
What a great experience it is. Thanks so much, Fred. We'll catch you later. Good luck. And Anders, we're going to ask you the same question. So we're operating with the same setup that the WQS surfers have used over the past couple of days. How valuable is that as an experience for you as an up-and-coming surfer here in the UK?
It's really cool, like with the priority stuff and having the commentator, like knowing what scores you need, and yeah, it's super fun.
So it is a valuable experience. There's not an awful lot of opportunities for us in the UK to surf under such conditions, like you mentioned, with the priority board, the live feed, the live updates. And I suppose as an up-and-coming surfer, you'll look perhaps to venture further afield and compete in bigger and bigger events. Do you see this as a learning experience?
Yeah, massively. Like, we never really get to do this, so like, this is only my second time using priority, which was really cool, and yeah.
That's great. So a valuable learning experience. And we mentioned some of the high-profile surfers that we've had at the WQS event, the likes of Leon Glatzer, Yolanda Hopkins, amongst others. How inspirational is it being able to watch these guys, and I suppose in the surfers area at the top there, hang out with them and be in the same surroundings?
Yeah, it's really cool seeing like their strategy when it comes to heats and stuff. And yeah, speaking to them is really nice as well.
Is there anything that you've seen them do that you're going to try and adapt or take into your surfing?
Surfing before my heats maybe a couple of times, like trying to grind it out as much as you can.
Do you know what, we've noticed that as well. We, in the kind of setup for the contest, we've been down really early each morning, and we saw the likes of the aforementioned Yolanda Hopkins in the sea before it even gets light, and then pretty much everybody in that contest, when they weren't in heats, they were surfing, practicing in the conditions that were going to be on offer for the rest of the event, right? So there's a big positive vibe around here, good atmosphere. What's been your highlight of the Boardmasters so far?
Going to the festival last night was good, and yeah.
Okay, so you've been to the festival. What was your pick of the acts?
Damien Marley.
Do you know what? You're about the fifth person that said that this morning. Damien, Junior Gong Marley was the man to watch last night, apparently. You heard it here first. Thanks very much, Anders. Take it easy. Well, I'm joined here by festival reveller, Eve Dudley. You have to stand this way, Eve. Eve, you've just arrived at the Boardmasters all the way from St. Ives. What are your first impressions of the scene here at the beach for the Javianas Junior event?
Absolutely hectic.
Hectic is the word on the street from Eve. Conditions are small. Have you had an eye on the surfing? Have you been impressed by anyone in particular?
Not really, no.
So Eve's not been really impressed because she hasn't had a chance to watch the surfing. I think that's what she's trying to say. Eve, I'm getting the strong smell of alcohol coming from. Have you been in the bar?
Not yet. That's coming very soon. Give it an hour.
Okay, so give Eve an hour. Eve, you're going to the festival this evening. Is there anybody you're particularly looking forward to seeing?
Bombay Bicycle Club. Yeah.
Bombay Bicycle Club were my pick as well. Apparently Damien Junior Gong Marley was the pick of last night. Are you familiar with his work?
No, not really, no.
Okay, this is going well. So Eve, we've got one heat left of junior under 18 boys round 2. I'm going to suggest you go and join your friends and watch the rest of the surfing, because we're going to interview you again later and ask for some more updates on what you think about the surfing. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for listening to these amazing kids and the future of British surfing. And another special thanks to Tim Pitt, the beach marshal, for letting us set up at the recording point right by his area. Crest, in partnership with Elusive, will be back for another First Tuesdays episode next month, and a chat with Hugo Tagholm from Surfers Against Sewage. From meeting world leaders to grassroots activism, we'll find out about his work, his surfing life, and perhaps what we can do as individuals to help save our precious oceans. In the meantime, we're always super keen for any ideas or feedback. Just email us at castcrest@gmail.com or comment on either of our Instagram or Twitter feeds. Crest, in partnership with Elusive, can be found on YouTube, Apple, Spotify and Google, among other platforms. And please do leave us a review if you're feeling warm about what you've heard. It all helps. We've also got a big back catalogue of chats to go through if you just scroll back. So, thanks again to the Groms and parents, to Logan for his time earlier, and of course to you, the listener. Diolch yn fawr. You're supposed to be a teacher, you're supposed to be able to talk on the spot.